Boo boo boo. We're back, everybody. Boo boo boo. We're back, everybody. Favorite podcast here, and we're back. Boom. Yeah, what's up, niggas?
What up, bitch?
What up? What up, nigga?
What's
Yeah,
going on, people? Welcome, welcome. It's been a minute. We'll do some sort of formal introduction, I guess, but hopefully everybody has been well with our minor. It ain't really even been a hiatus, man. Adulting, working, servicing the community, and a little bit of leisure here and there. But welcome back. In case you missed us, y'all better have because we have consistently since pre-pandemic trying to do this shit as much as possible to serve as entertaining y'all, a little bit of entertaining ourselves too, because this is good conversation for us to indulge in, but entertaining y'all since pre-pandemic. So you better miss us when we gone. Other than that, hi. How you guys doing? Hope you're well. Welcome to Just a Dope Ass Podcast for this episode number, whatever the fuck it is. Refer to the notes at the bottom of said screen that you're listening to and go
three,
from there.
three. Are we in the 350s? I'll say we're in the 350s, maybe.
369, stand a real five. You can suck it from that
Yeah,
one
I'm not
hand.
gonna lie. YouTube gonna have to just take it because that number I'm playing that for sure. We have to figure it out. It's Yin Yang Twins, it's Tesla, not the original guy, not the fucking, not the car. Like
Yeah,
369 was like a thing, which makes me always think like the Yin Yang Twins was like tapped in like a motherfucker. Like
absolutely.
they knew some shit. But
Absolutely.
but
You
yeah,
know, I've had that conversation with others and with myself as of recent, how like a lot of the best and or most successful rap artists have some connection to education, to higher learning, whether
yeah,
they did some time in college, whether they graduated from college, whatever the case is, but most of them have education, which completely is alarming to me. Why kids be like, I'm gonna focus on my music. I ain't gonna go to school. Nigga, the most successful ones went to school. So take your ass to school.
I'm
But
not I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be very old nigga-ish. This is gonna be very shut the fuck up boomer. I'm not a boomer, but I know like anything from Gen Z and below treats everything, and I'm cool with that. But given the fact, because like we've been going since the fucking clips dropped, and even Tyler's new album, it's not even my favorite Tyler album, but I just like motherfuckers who take the craft seriously, whether you went to get you a formal education, like to study the fucking craft of music. It clearly tells in the products. Because I ain't gonna lie, I saw a post today, and the post today was the freshman class. And I remember being hyped about that fucking every year. It like throughout college, it was like, oh motherfucker. Like, and we would go and we would watch the freestyles, and then we would all get all these niggas mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? And I listened to that freshman class, man. And honestly, man, it's not even just trying to rep for the home team. I don't know. It was Rayvon and a bunch of other niggas that was saying, uh, motherfuckers sound like I don't even know, man. I don't have nothing clever. That shit was ass. And I'm okay being the old nigga to just say that shit sucks. Cause I think there's a good variety. I'm still a millennial, man. And I feel like we still smack dab in the middle. I don't need everybody to always like you don't have to be pushed, but you should make shit this good. And that shit was ass. It was a whatever I saw, it was just a barrel of asses. 1,000 asses, like just
put on a peppermint cloud, push you in the mouth. I'm trying to help you out. 1,000 asses. Classic Comic View that y'all niggas don't remember.
That's another
Terrible.
thing. Yeah, man. Y'all just yeah, like I agree with that. You have to have some type of education in your craft. It is a craft. Like I get that, there are certain artists that, niggas just trying to make it out. I'd be just trying to put them to the side, but I just don't put them in my conversations. Like if I'm a motherfucker brings up, you know, uh YNFL wizard money, and it's like if that works for you, my nigga, like that's just not they not the same type of artist, and I don't want to talk about them that way.
Yeah. No, it's I can understand like the younger generations. the generation just under us kind of wanting to YouTube University it, but at least they were
Yeah.
still seeking some sort of edification. They were still seeking education. They just didn't want to do it in the traditional sense. I don't know what this younger generation now is doing. I can't really call it. I think they're mastering trends and what is viralable, if that's a word. Like they're studying the algorithms and how to pop quickly, but they're not really studying craft. They're just studying fucking an image or marketing or things of that nature.
I think that's a good or good analysis, not analogy, analysis. Because I think like there's like a, you pick a term, microwave culture, TikTok kids, blah 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 blah. Like it seems to be more of a like a love for like the culture, like a part of the culture, a love for like the moment where like, because as I was sitting there thinking, I just said like, Tyler just dropped the album, right? And like, it's not like Tyler has any like fucking formal education at fucking I don't know, Yale's Music Academy. But what he does always seem to have, I don't know this nigga personally, is a genuine love for music. So when I'm making my albums, I'm doing all the things, but I'm an artist. Like I like, you know, I'm not a fashion nigga, but fashion niggas be loving like fashion and art and the finest silks and the music and this synth is the sound of like you talk to niggas like that and they'll be like this synth is actually the synth that from the whatever mixing board that Stevie Wonder used to use. I guess a deep appreciation for music and that shows itself in the product. I think, for a variety of reasons, a lot of artists, especially like in the what are they called now, Zoomers, it's like I love being famous. I love being like popular, but I don't necessarily love like music. And so, it just kind of pops up in the product. Because every now and again, I still do my little like perusing. I'll still click, oh, hey, new album just dropped. Like I'm fucking in music. Like motherfucker really wondering like, well, what's TJ's fucking deep thoughts on the new album. And I'll give them a listen. Them shit suck. I go right back to my same bag. I'm like, all right, I gave it a shot, man. This is you know, Jay Nutty. And I was like, all right, man, I gave him a shot. That nigga sucks. That nigga's terrible. This is very bad. This is like the sounds are bad, the beat bad, song bad, cadence bad, tone bad. Like what are we doing?
Do you think it's the artist being bad, or do you think you have an auditory bias, so you're not going to listen to it with a fair ear anyway?
It's I'm gonna say the artists are bad. Like I go in, yeah, I go in for sure. Like, yeah, I'm gonna give this a shot. I don't know a lot of like even this like I'll keep using it's the last thing I listened to, but the last this Tyler album, I've listened to that shit so far, like I think about four, maybe five times. It took a minute for it to grow on me in the beginning half. Because I was like, okay, like some of these beats are like losing me, but eventually like it kind of comes around like, okay, I can see whatever, but it's still not my favorite body of work from him. But
Mm.
some of them it is like a I won't take away the bias completely, but some of it's just not good. Like when I'm thinking of what I want a song to sound like, um, even like songs in my mind, like songs had purpose. Like there was songs that if you cut on a little scrappy or something, we probably were fighting, once upon a time. Like from what I heard, I've always been a peaceful individual. But you might have seen the fighters, you know what I'm saying? Like, you listen to, I don't know, Mr. Morale to have some deep introspection. Like, they put you in a vibe, whatever the vibe is. Some of these songs, the vibe is hard to find, or the vibe is like for what I use it for. When I'm making memes, I'm like, oh yeah, it's I don't know, Zip Zoodle Bop, because they all got crazy names now too, just to keep this sounding as old as I can make it sound. I'm like, oh yeah, this fucking 15-second window, this motherfucker was in his bag. Everything outside of this 15-second clip, song sounds like you was in there banging pots and pans. like like in fucking God, you kids didn't even fucking watch Fantasia. But when they in there when he was doing the magic and all the pots and shit was just clanging and shit, whole song sound like that until this one part. And I'm like, that part is hit. And that part is what makes you the money. It gets you the streams. They put that shit on TikTok and nigga said, man, fuck the rest. I'm walking out. That's what it sound like. It's like the niggas get real good. How long was that? That was 12 seconds? Man, wrap it up. We getting the fuck. Put whatever the fuck else you want to put to that shit, my nigga. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that speaks to the chasing of virility, not chasing of artistry. Because even the songs, like, if you got a song make it to 3 minutes, that's long as fuck. That's on 3 minutes? God damn, like the average is like 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 15 seconds, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. So really, yeah, that is the best part of the song, and everything else is just filler or fluff for it. Um, with the exception of some of these non-melanated individuals that we let outcool us when it comes to music, because they be putting together masterful shit and it makes me angry. But I say that also to ask the question, I'll include the, I don't know if it's still our generation, but I'll say the 30 and up, maybe 32 and up. Are we the last generation that understands classification for music? So, like you mentioned, Scrappy, Scrappy, Trillville, like they have a sound, and we
Hmm.
listen to them for particular reasons. At the same time, we would listen to Common for a different reason, Black Star for a different reason, Ludacris for a different reason. Do you think that we're the last generation to understand to look at these songs for different reasons in different categories, and now everybody's just kind of lumping their shit together? Like, how do you see how they may separate their musical taste or auditory
Well,
pleasures?
I know I've been kicking everybody back in. I don't know if I would say last. I do think a lot of it is outside of like individual artists. Like, you peruse the internet enough. It's people out there. It's, just trying to make music. I'm a musician. But, you listen to a lot of these music podcasts, even Joe Budden and be talking about it, like the algorithms, the labels, chasing the sound. Like I think it's more, you have to be more intentional with like what you're trying to listen to because popular wise, it's like it's whatever's trendy. Like, everybody sound, if you just kind of perusing on the surface, everybody sounds like a lesser Travis Scott or something like that. Like that's his sound, and then everybody seems like they're trying to do, that or what whoever's like has a popping song, it's a bunch of revision versions of it. So I don't know that I would say the last. I do feel like you have to go through more effort to get a certain type of sound. Regions change, sounds change, but you have to like, if you're not I know every region always had their own shit. So I think like, I think Houston will always be fine. Like, the Bay will always be fine. I'm sure you go up there, nobody gives a fuck. Like, what are y'all talking about? We've never been, worried about it. Um, Shit, it's a bunch of songs that to me, to us out here, yeah, that song's popping all the time. You'll probably never hear that motherfucker past Nevada. So I think I don't know, I feel like it's good and bad in a way. Like you have to be comfortable with like I make my music and I might be like a regional success and then you figure it out from there. So I don't, yeah, I guess I wouldn't say that I feel like it's the last era because I feel like now, everything kind of like has a resurgence. So I feel like we might be like outside however many years from a resurgence of, hey man, this is what the fuck we sound like in Connecticut because everybody's been doing this long standing thing of a motherfucker from, a nigga from Carson and a nigga from the Bronx are trying to make the same sound as opposed to like, nah, man, I just kind of figured out my own shit from my own area that kind of represents my culture. And then you'll have this big boom of whatever it sounds like again. I think.
I think we're kind of already there because I've come across people on social media. I mean, I've sent you some, but say the beat makers that'll take a beat and flip it from different regions, or people that are, I won't say their music. content creators, but they may critique or they, hey, I heard this, I came across this artist from Oklahoma, and y'all tell me if it's dope or not, and plays the song or video from them, exposing people to different artists around the world that aren't mainstream or sounds that we don't know. And like it opens the floodgates for people to listen to shit that's not in their region.
Mhm.
Um, but I think we're kind of already there. It's just and that's what I guess was part of the second part of my question, how we may get flooded with a certain percentages perspective of music. Like some of the songs that go viral, they may represent whatever lifestyle, whatever mindset, but they're not an accurate representation of all the different artists that are out there. And then you hear some other artists that ain't gone viral for whatever reason yet. And you like, hey, these little niggas is actually dope. Why I
Mhm.
don't hear them? Why do I keep hearing this same 15-second snippet of this bum ass song that's popular now that everybody's doing a fucking TikTok dance to, and that shit made them popular, but it's actually trap. Why do I keep hearing that song? Oh,
Because it's the Jet
because
2 holiday.
well, I was gonna, yeah, I was gonna say like we also chase the virility. I think as a society we've regressed into functioning like an algorithm, right? Kind of like the Matrix. Red pill, blue pill. You take a particular pill, you get to be away from the matrix, whereas you only come into it as needed, as opposed to someone else who's caught up in it and doesn't know the difference. When you are part of the masses, you don't realize how, as a society, we function as an algorithm. People will use that same bullshit ass song in a 12-second clip to get their own virility going, which grows that
Mhm.
song's popularity. And it's like, I don't even really like the song. I'm using it for clicks, just like other people are losing it for clicks. And now I end up liking it's like a jingle that gets stuck in your head. So because we as a society are functioning as one large dysfunctional algorithm, we end up kind of creating a little bit of a cultish following or just a groupthink type situation, which I don't think that's different than any other time in history, but that's just what it looks like for right now.
I think it's, obviously more impactful because of all the technological advances, but shit, I think about that just shit for the pod page on either platform because I've been, obviously I've been, talking about trying to try my hand at being more of a little tiki talker. Um, but the algorithm does a thing like if I go to TikTok, the shit is like I hear so many of these trendy songs because I like anime. I'll click these anime edits and these motherfuckers be going fucking nuts. Shit is elite, right? And it'll if you catch it on the right day, it'll be five more of the edits, and then it's like 12 more of this song. I don't even know if I like or dislike this song. I know it's fire with this edit though. And now like, you go in your suggested for use, like when I'm making some shit for the Instagram or whatever, it's like some of these shits I've heard go viral, and I'm like, okay, it goes with what I'm making. I haven't become that level of a motherfucker that's just like, oh, this is just viral. It's like, okay, man, this is trending, but also I spend a lot of unnecessary time. And I have a whole job, but I spend an unnecessary amount of time trying to make sure that it sounds like it goes with the thing. It sets the whatever for whatever the fuck post is, but that affects the algorithm because like it's worked well and worked against because it's like, oh shit, now I'm stuck with all these like I don't know, like I'm finna go shoot the world up ass songs. But every now and again, if I play something that's, it was funny or it was like trendy. I think I did one. It was one a couple weeks ago, and it was that like synth sunglasses song. And then so I got a bit
Mm.
of that more, and like, oh, okay, there's this motherfucker who I've never heard of. Um, so yeah, I think, but that also informs me like how intentional you have to be. I know that's a topic I feel like we beat to death as well. Like you have to be intentional with this algorithm shit because it will put in whatever the fuck you're feeding it, that shit will give it right back. Oh, you like this? We're gonna give you a billion of them. Like I know if if you were to go to the fucking uh pod page now, it ain't even ass no more. It's just political fucking chaos. I've had a little. I made a couple posts. Fucking looked at whatever. So now it looked like fucking CNN, Fox News, underground, deep, uh, ground news. It's that's all that's over there. Um, which is, whatever, cool. It's cool to stay in the loop, but it would, even that is like, especially with this shit. I'll come back to that because that's fucking a whole other thing. But that speaks to like, oh yeah, the algorithm will have you think the world looks seven different ways depending if this is your only outlet. Like, and if you have no desire to do any like step two kind of half-ass sort of Google, oh yeah, it's fuck music, nigga. It's your you think you fuck around and be like the ground is made out of fucking Captain Crunch. It's a conspiracy. Where did you see that? Here. Did you even remotely look up? No. Because I trust uh, libertarian legend 775. Okay, cool. Yeah, for sure. Because he got
Zora the Zionist 19.
yeah, for sure. Uh it's going viral now. That's what I was speaking about like a couple seconds ago. Like, I know we said this like a couple episodes ago. I have to start like just fucking standing on my own ideas. Watching certain shit, I'm convinced that it's not helpful. Like if you have a okay understanding of something, I don't even know exactly where to go look sometimes, but boy, it's a lot. I know motherfuckers got life, they got kids, they got bills, but I can understand kind of taking a back seat to some of the shit because I have gone these past few weeks, like I've been chilling, but I've also like just been like, oh, this might be interesting. I've gone on so many fucking deep dives. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very glad like when you be taking your breaks and you just be on your personal page because I be crucifying our shit. YouTube is whooped. The fucking pod algorithm on the Instagram is beat to shit. Only thing left is like TikTok is the only like happy space social media wise. I fell down a debate hole for at least the past 2.5 weeks on just it left politics. The other day I spent like 2 days watching motherfuckers argue about like God. I don't even know why I was over on that side. It just was like I just as I've started, I take that back. I do know. As I've started making some of these little posts that I think these memes are just whatever are on the political side. I'm watching these niggas talk. I just had to go see like how far these motherfuckers like this ideology runs. And then, this viral thing that went out this week where the Jubilee had a fucking debate. And at this point, Jubilee might be bad for the fucking world because watch the Jubilee debate. If you guys don't, I don't want to butcher his name, Mehdi Hassan, great journalist, man. He be doing a lot of shit. I follow Zateo. I like what they I like what they're putting down, saying a lot of the good shit, keeping niggas informed. This motherfucker goes on there and that shit said progressive versus 20 conservatives. We ran across one full-fledged fascist, uh, a couple white nationalists, a Iranian dude who hates Iran. I don't know. The algorithm and the people outside exist. Like that shit be letting me know, like, you think it's like five motherfuckers that are just like yelling at you on the internet. It's not five. It's more than five.
Mhm. I think, well, looking at that 20 verse 1 in that regard, I think there are some things that go way more viral than others. Like we
Yeah.
talked about the virility of songs and certain posts or whatever can go viral, but that can go viral no matter what you pay attention to, right? So there's certain things that go viral no matter what you pay attention to that will tell you the scope of the country that you live in.
Hmm.
And I think that going viral. shows us the state of the country that we live in, and the comments attached to it are an accurate representation of what the brains are functioning like in this country. And it is split in a motherfucker to a degree, because a lot of people that watch Jubilee stuff, they are going to have a particular bias. So in
Hmm.
the comments, you will see more people in the comments that's like, yeah, he whooping their ass as he should because they're stupid. But you'll have some people in there who are like, well, he didn't even let them get their point off. And it's like, okay.
See,
But
and
it
I
shows you how people are thinking in today's society, or American society, should I say.
shit even more so because to give it a couple days, the dude who went up there claiming that he wanted a theocratic autocracy. He was very adamant about that. He was openly saying that he was a fascist. Very okay. He was super okay with that. Loses his job, goes on another podcast, uh, which I think is probably I'm not sure, but I assume it was some like right-leaning pod. Starts a GoFundMe, gets 30K. So that alone, a platforming him, people giving their hard-earned cash, it is like I guess if I was like talking to people who were like, I don't know, man, on deep left leaning, it's shit where like I know I've said this before when I talked about like the Trumpety stuff. It's like, yo, man, certain shit like we've far left, huh? Uh, the fucking the realm where it's like, oh man, we're politically on different sides. Bro, this ain't even politics no more. And
No.
I'm not exactly sure how people go about handling it, but it's like I would treat it with a level as dangerous as it is. I would keep that in mind because I'm like, hey man, these aren't just like because you see people like when they talk, it's like a I know you can't always hear people's voices, but you can see like when the comments come from like you said the regular Jubilee watcher, a progressive or something going like, oh man, these guys are crazy, sick, disgusting, can't even believe it. Ugh. Their comments are like, wait till we come home to roost, brother. Don't worry about it. And I was like, hey, nigga, like that motherfucker sounds a little intentional. And it's not like seven Nick, it's not like little pockets of motherfuckers. Or how do I say this? I don't know that people are doing themselves any favors by treating it like it's a group of 10 crazy niggas three towns over. It's like, nah, man, that motherfucker might be your supervisor. And how do you maneuver in life like that? Like he could be like your next door neighbor, like sidebar, you know, sister was here, my mom was here for like 3 weeks. So, that's also like part of the hiatus. Having a good
Mm.
time. My sister does she's a walker now. So she'll go to the gym and then she does second cardio walking through the community. Cool. I've started doing it. Cool. I'm walking like around where I usually don't walk. And like it's like, like I said, like that's one of them libertarian flags. It's a lot of American flags on this house. That's a Blue Lives Matter flag. And like the ways in which motherfuckers will tie, because at this point, none of them are denying the other side. So if you're just trying to say I'm a good old regular American conservative, none of them are like denouncing the crazies on the other side. So now the only thing you would do for your survival is to kind of tie all of these together. You may not like in my mind, everybody in them pictures, those lynching photos, everybody didn't participate, but they still took the picture. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you were just there smiling with your daughter, saying, here's, you know, Leon in the back, but you didn't hang him, so you're not as fuck no. And yeah, with people not thinking of it just on some self-preservation shit, I'm like, that's nuts. You gotta kind of because that it sounds crazy. Like when if anybody's like they're fascists, and it's like, okay, man, we could all Google real quick like what fascists did. It wasn't like I don't like you. Like fascism and like those type of ideals comes with actions and what that looks like. And y'all just making like as a meme maker, nigga, like little meme ain't gonna do shit.
I don't think we pay attention to the behaviors. I think that's kind of slightly our bias as therapists. and maybe the bias of content creators that that's what they talk about as far as how people function and how that affects. But I don't think the majority of people pay attention to behaviors and how it correlates with a certain mindset. Because a lot of people, especially the Wahites, they are good, they are fantastic at trying to create separation away from things. That's kind of why we're functioning the way we're functioning as a society, is because them as a whole love to try to figure out how to separate themselves from things for particular reasons, unless it's of benefit to them. They will say, I'm not that. I'm more so this, so I don't identify with that. But if you look at the behaviors, it's like y'all the same. You just got red on and they got burgundy on, but y'all in the same fucking class. I don't know why you think that you're different than them. Well, because when it comes to this, I'm a little bit more left leaning in this one particular area, but I agree with them on the other eight shit that we agree on. So you're one of them. You just have a slight ability to kind of think for yourself in this one particular area. I don't think we pay attention to those behaviors because it's comfortable for us to just latch on to the labels, and it provides us comfort with knowing label here, don't like that label, stay away from there. Let me find labels that fit me, and then I just get to enable myself to pay attention to the labels that I like, as opposed to now let me look at everybody unbiasedly and see, oh, y'all got 10 different titles, but y'all all the same one motherfucker. Cool, got it. I understand that. It's too much work for us to decipher the differences, so we choose to stay in our own little pockets, which make us emotionally comfortable, if that makes sense.
I do think that's it. I think there is a and I think it's a bit of either not wanting to accept it, some of it is not acknowledging it, some of it is acknowledging it and realizing it might be a bit too much, which I can understand, is that shit is flat out fucking scary. Because you go, okay, man, like it's one thing to go, I don't know, man, they're not a like make these moral high ground statements about like bills that are passed. Super valid because the bills themselves are evil. But I just feel like it brings up another thing, whereas like we have all these like platitudes and sayings in the black community about like keep an eye on, on white people in so many forms. But it's like, nah, man, like that danger is there, and I don't know. I feel like there is an emotional space that isn't fully acknowledged about what that means. Because you listen to like you listen to shit, my grandmother is live and well and actively, I know I've said this example I think at least fucking 40 times on this pod, lives through that, like was an active live person where you could just hear like, oh yeah, you remember James McCoy. James McCoy just gone because he was somewhere on the wrong Tuesday. And you go, oh hey, I think about how much my granny has impacted like my thought process and like who I am as a person. And it was like all the grannies and grandpas that were doing weird shit also have grandkids. Some of them have
Yeah,
a bunch of them.
I,
And
I, I was gonna say, I think the part that we have to really pay attention to, which I think some content creators try to do a good job of, I see them because that's just part of the algorithms that I look at. I don't see the
Mhm.
other goofy shit that some people be looking at, but I see them bringing light to it to highlight that shit ain't went away because you saying grandparents, and I'm thinking as somebody that's pretty much 40 at this point, oh well shit, grandparents is my parents. My grandparents are the great grandparents. So if we talk about grandparent status, i.e. my parents, I remember my dad telling me stories of shit. And the 1980s wasn't that long ago.
Nope.
And they was going through that shit in the 80s and the 90s. I'm sure people got parents and or uncles that can tell you about, police doing shit, picking you up for no reason, whooping your ass in a patrol car and dropping you off in some rival's territory.
Mhm.
And that's still a racist thing to do that they did back in days of Martin Luther King, that they did back when it came to the fucking slavery days and picking up. the behaviors have still been hell. We just saw, at least I assume it went viral. The viral clip of dude in his car asking police what he did, and they fucking punch the glass out and sock him in the face and pull him out the car. Like that
Yeah,
shit still happens.
yeah, I saw that. And then I think the captain, whatever from Florida, I think it was in Florida.
I don't think I remember where that came from, honestly.
I think, but I'm not sure. But I did see like the black police chief come out and defend, and it was like, there's no racism here, and it's like, bro, like,
If you don't knock that shit off, boy,
yeah, I can't say obviously like, I can clearly like come to an understanding just with, oh, okay, this is the environment this person comes from. But man, it's never anything about that. Oh, that reminds me. It was another creator, therapist. God, I can't remember his name. I like his stuff too. He was on The Breakfast Club, Glasses, Black Man, but he was discussing like how um at some point it might have to be like put into the DSM, like racism and fascism and like these mindsets that get people there, like this level of like bigotry. And I was like, I'm sure you scour through it and hit the criteria, but I was like, it just sent me on such a spiral of like what you would have to do to like label that in there. And then I had like this fucked up thought about like if it goes in there, like how do you treat that? Because like I personally don't know that I would be in the space to be like, oh yeah, man, like I was super like aggressive and abusive to these people of my like for these last 20 years of my life because I'm racist. And now I have to treat your I don't know, deep racial insecurity. Like that would be a journey, I think, like as a clinician. Have you done that? Because I haven't. I've been working with all us and black and brown.
I mean, of course, I got a little bit more experience as far as the therapy part is concerned. So I've worked with every race and gender and identity. I don't think there's any stone that I haven't worked with thus far, if I think of it. Yeah, I think I've pretty much touched every race slash culture slash identity within region. I don't want to say I've
Mhm.
touched every Asian person, but I've touched Asian people, Middle Eastern, the whole nine yards. I've covered everybody. Um, but saying that to say, I had this conversation. So context. Was it last week? I think it was last week. Last week, I was invited to come and have a dinner with other people that are in the mental health space, or mental health slash, I don't want to say self advocacy, social justice space,
Mhm.
because not everybody there is doing therapy. They're in the mental health field, but they're doing social justice versus therapy. Either way, I think I posted a picture about it in my story, but two of them are my mentor. Two or three or other of them that I've worked for. Like I didn't know that they all knew each other, but for me, it's like, oh, I know all these people. We all work together. I support them, whatever, which is great. We're all people of color. Really, we're all Black people within
Mhm.
the space doing different things, supporting each other. I'm saying that because at the table when we were having these different discussions, I brought up like to the DSM point, I would like to see whiteness as a disease, not white people, but I think the concept and aspect of whiteness that infects someone's mentality, their mindset, their worldview, their perspective is a disease that has been plaguing the planet for a long period of time, which has created the current state that we're in because it's an epidemic that we have not addressed.
Oh,
So
they
whiteness as a well, I don't know if we can call it a disorder. I'd say disease because we call shit diseases. If you got a
Mhm.
certain condition, it's a disease because it's probably something that is incurable. It's just manageable in some capacity. It may be curable for others depending on where it falls in the spectrum. But um, a disorder of some sort, a disease or whatever. But I really think that whiteness is an unaddressed mental disorder that has been floating around on this planet for generations that has been fucking things up. And it should be diagnosed and studied. And a lot of us at the table were like, Yeah, you know, it affects the cognitive, it affects the behaviors, it affects the decisions that they make. It completely distorts their worldview from being able to understand everything else. I really think that whiteness is a disorder slash disease that is fucking shit up, and we're not talking about it because we don't look at it that way. Like we'll look at body dysmorphia, and we looked at that before as an issue or something that was in the DSM, right? Then we got rid of it because we accept trans people and people that are non-binary and things of that nature. We'll look at those things as it pertains to sexuality, but we won't look at these things as it pertains to, say, whiteness. I really think that we should look at whiteness as one of those things to be studied and put it in the DSM as like, oh, everybody at Fox News got that whiteness disorder. That's why y'all be reporting shit the way that y'all report it. And granted, we can say that there's propaganda. We know that each news outlet has a particular funnel of information and the audience that they're giving it to and the way that they're trying to portray each message. But why is it that we have those types of groupthink? We can't just say it's identity of conservatives and things of that nature. I really think it comes from shit like whiteness.
RG3 is never going to stand for this, just so you know.
Oh, I don't give a fuck what that nigga stands for. He couldn't stand in the pocket. That's why his career was over so quick. Based on his knees, his legs, he can't stand nowhere. His wife outrun him. So I don't want to hear shit he got to say.
I
But
think I think that's valid. I think there is that's kind of one of my like big criticisms when I've had like my little 2 cents um conversations or just watching people have conversations just around the Trump administration and the political climate now. It's like I would I can't say dog or anybody on that fucking Jubilee shit was refreshing. That's not the right choice of words. But
mhm,
they were they were honest in the sense of like all of their talking points. And it was just damn, it was this clip that was going viral during the like the election time. And it was this Asian dude having dinner with this white guy, which a white dude. And his perspective was basically like white preservation. Like it was like that,
mhm.
you know, that stat that comes out every so often, like by 2042, they'll be the minorities and you know, you tie that into things like the one drop rule and all of this and people on the Jubilee thing saying things like there's like God, they tried to use it's a term, not white genocide, but something that frames it as you know, white people being excommunicated from the country. They're beating up Afrikaners in South Africa, all that shit. Like many of these ideals and things aren't right-wing ideology. It's not conservative. I just find a lot of those to be talking points for basically white supremacy. Like you want to ensure that your people and your ideals and your to the point that like motherfuckers be up there. Like that's why sometimes I find the debates to be a little not smoke and mirrors, but a little bullshit because it's like it's just a lot of wordy shit from motherfuckers that be wrong on the facts. Whether it's a fact checker or you're just talking to somebody in front of you, or like just me casually listening to shit, I'm like, that's not true. I've heard three motherfuckers talk about this over the past month or so. That's not true. But the mental gymnastics it takes to read something or hear something and skew the facts because your general thing is to make sure that this specific system that emboldens whiteness, yeah,
Is a disorder.
yeah.
It is a functional if there is something wrong with your mental. But the thing is, it's not something new. And that's the unfortunate part. It's like when I mean, you're doing therapy now, and the more that you're into it and come across different populations of people, you will have people try and argue you down or like debunk how you're pointing out, hey, this is what you're doing. This is an issue. This is what we call it. This is where it comes from. This is what it does. But that's not really what I'm like. That's not entirely what I'm doing. Like
Hmm.
that's not, and what's wrong with it? Like I've had clients
Shit, yeah.
almost have a conniption and shit themselves because I'm explaining to them their lack of boundaries and how boundaries are important and how boundaries show up in different ways and why their lack of boundaries comes from their relationship with their parent or parents and things of that nature. And this is an example of what you're talking about now. And it's an example of you not having proper or healthy boundaries, which is why you keep putting yourselves in this predicament. It's like, but that's how I'm supposed to do things. That's how I think. It's the best way to do it. And it's like, but does it keep servicing you? See, yeah, that face right there. I have that face internally quite often on a regular basis. But I also understand you see it that way because you have been conditioned to think that way based on either a disorder or based on your traumas and experiences. And a lot of these people, a lot of these people, I'll say they've been conditioned to believe it because they follow charismatic liars, kind of like you motherfuckers in the church. But that's a whole nother conversation. Shout out to Dan McClellan. Other than that,
Like that guy.
people like, yeah, I love that guy. But a lot of people fall into the trap of charismatic liars. Hitler was a charismatic liar. Trump is a charismatic liar. So people end up getting indoctrinated into the mindset. So they may not have the uncurable aspect of that disease. They are just, they're succumbing to that disorder for the moment, but it's curable at some point. Some people that shapes their entire worldview, kind of like we talk about incels and things of that nature, to where we ain't got no medication for that, but something is going on with you to where we have to address this mentality. Because how do you see it this way to look at this fact? There's a whole fact sheet, there's a whole study that's like 50 pages long, and you latched on to like one sentence, and then you use that one sentence to prove your whole point, but you didn't even use the whole sentence properly. You just kind of took out this one part of the sentence to justify all the other shit that you say. And it's like, well, actually, if you would have kept reading, you could see three sentences down how it says this is the context. And really, that context proves that that is only accurate at 0.5% of the time. But you're latching onto it as if it's 100%. Now, I know we're talking about this politically, but a lot of you motherfuckers do that in your relationships as well. But today's not a relationship conversation, so I guess we're going to stray away from that. But a lot of you guys do that as well when it comes to how you see dating and relationships. We'll come back to that later. Okay, bye.
I don't ever have an issue sprinkling it because my thoughts on that, that's where my head went when I was fucking because it just sounded like it did sound like most of the relationship shit. And it also makes me think of like the general tirade. But when I think about like um going back to say even just the algorithm, whatever, like my favorite thing to hate is the suggested for you, like who you're following, like how we can all just see what each other's doing, right? And you have to keep your shit together. I understand not being so up the political fucking trail and that you think the world is burning at five, at a five alarm fire. It kind of is, but I understand taking a step back from that. I'm an anime watcher, I'm a video game player. I'm doing all the fucking things. So I get it. My thing sometimes that I think that I be wrapping my head around or trying to wrap my head around is like it's a lot of shit going on that's like important in life. Why the fuck are we still listening to I don't know whoever the fucking relationshipy that are not good. And I'm like, niggas is taking this shit and still sitting up here making the fucking uh if he wanted to, he would. And I'm like, bitch, they cut Medicaid. What the fuck are you talking about, nigga?
You're
God
not about
damn.
to have, especially because a lot of them are the same ones saying that are the same people that you don't have insurance. You worried about if he wanted to, he would. When come 2027, you won't have no medical insurance if you don't get your shit together now.
Dog, it just be like some of that shit. I'm like, man, I don't think everybody needs to be a political scientist. Everybody doesn't have to be like, trying to fucking stretch the limits of their brain to be a new age intellectual. But it's like, come on, G. We gotta fucking at least hit. You can't run the ball. I'm a big fan of the hard nose, goddamn power eye. Give me the fucking heyday of goddamn Allstott and Lorenzo Neal just knocking a motherfucker's teeth in. But also, we're gonna have to throw this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to run a little trick play here. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to do a little something different if we're gonna at least attack this fucking. We gotta attack this shit differently, motherfucker. I saw some shit the other day. I almost threw my fucking phone because I was like, oh yeah, this shit got to be from 6 months ago. This shit was from like 2 weeks ago. I was like, what are we talking about still? Like, why? Even and like you said, I don't plan to derail this into making this relationship day, but it just overall, I'm like, nigga, it'd be the same shit. Like, I'm like, man, I got a life, but I was like, we can all take like 5 minutes to like the research is there. What you're saying, baby, that's why that nigga left. He like shit. That nigga said, "What'd you say?" And just picked his pants up and said, "I'm never coming back here." Like, or her, my nigga. Because honestly, I done had so many this year alone. I don't want to talk to another one of you red pill niggas and nowhere. Don't if you see me out, it's a misunderstanding, my nigga. Like you're wrong. I don't give a shit what you say, bro. I understand we've all going through, but understand I disagree. Okay? Like whatever you finna say, I don't agree with it. Can you believe she? Yes, I can. You know what? Yeah, I believe that she could work. I know how to wash a dish. I'm not a great cook, but we're not gonna starve. She had sex before me. Holy shit! Fuck! God damn it! Yeah. I don't know, man. If I could finagle it, yeah, those, and capitalism is not killing us both. Maybe she doesn't work those first 2 years because babies need baby stuff, and I don't make milk. That's not my those now afterwards. Now hold on, bitch, because I don't get too happy just yet. Because skin to skin is a you need men too. I think you're all wrong. I just never ever forget you're wrong too. You can be right, but you're wrong now, and and it's dumb. You don't have to be. Some of these things you could knock that shit out today. Okay, like you could knock it out right now. You could just instantly poof over with. It could be done. We're not. I don't know.
The the middle is the place to be because both sides are stupid to me.
Motherfuckers get on every day talking about black this, black that. My aunt ain't synced your ass. Ain't my aunt ain't bet you one fucking time. Ain't a motherfucking thing in life balance. Fucking scales all over the goddamn scale on the flow. Shit.
In shambles.
Yeah, yeah. I thought about it was kind of coincidental too. It was like a fucked up coincidence. Um, the relationship shit. It made me. I had seen this clip and I had saved it for a while. It was the I think they called it like Not So Hood Pod, and that was Malcolm Jamal Warner's podcast. Unfortunately, who passed, which was crazy earlier this
Mm,
week. Rest in peace to the dead. I believe they said it was drowning, but
yeah,
yeah, it was just it made me think it's like that was I was gonna head. I just kind of went on that rant just without that pod a part of it because I didn't want that to like step on his passing. But it was a pod that it was an episode they had did where that like topic came up, and I was like, come on, man, like y'all you motherfuckers about to be 50, like come on. Um, that I ain't gonna lie, man. I like it was like I guess like all of us collectively like took that as a kick in the balls. Obviously, I've never met this man, but like across the board, it was like, what the fuck is this? This is fucking some of the craziest news ever. Like what?
yeah, that was random as shit. I mean, but unfortunately, I think for people like him, we understand their importance after they're gone, which is not uncommon or new. But I think the crazier thing for me is as I enter into my 40s, I see how a lot of us are dying in our 50s. And for
Mhm.
me, it puts into perspective like, damn, what if I only got 15 years left on this earth? Because a
Yeah.
lot of people are dying at 54, 55, 56, and that ain't that long away for me. Now, the not to say that it's a good thing, but I understand his is more of a freak accident, an unfortunate thing that caused it. But there are some people in that age range that are dying from natural stuff and or I'll say mental health struggles as far as suicidality is concerned. So our mortality is decreasing in range because of mental health struggles and health struggles. And that's what kind of puts that into perspective for me. But as far as the actual person and it being crazy news to lose someone who held that high regard, this is somebody who from a teenage age
Hmm.
under the tutelage of Sir Cosby, has been very pro-black for a very long time, his entire life, and even in the shadows found ways to try and edify us towards culture and what's going on in this country through artistry. And it's only until he passes that he's appreciated. One, two, the younger generations may not have got the full impact of what he tried to do in his private life and through his art until now because they may not even know he existed until now. They're like, who this old nigga that was on this old TV show?
Yeah. And he was doing like, because I remember it was a couple years ago. I saw him. I think it was like he did that Breakfast Club run. And he had made like an album, and it was like some artsy fartsy shit. But like you said, like that was one of the times where like it was like always I always feel like it was reintroduced me. I was like, oh yeah, he's like with the shits, but like not in like no corny like you niggas need to do better shit. It was just like, hey, this is like our potential for like greatness and shit. And that was I don't know. It's always I feel like a reminder to like always celebrate those people who are really like good for the culture, good for the community. I will say too, I had this uh you were pretty vulnerable, so I can get my little vulnerable thought out now. You said the 50-year thing. I had a thought yesterday and I was like when it kind of came out, like, I didn't get into all the details. I didn't feel like doing like research on another death. But it was a weird feeling, and I haven't really figured out how to, so we're kind of spitballing it now because I haven't figured out a way to really say it properly. But like him dying in a freak accident way of like just the drowning,
Mm-hmm.
relief is not the right word, but it was like almost like a yay, it's not a
Yeah.
murder, yay, it's not a like you said, like some super health issue. Because sometimes those feel like you think so, maybe everybody don't, but I always think like step two, step three, step four, like how is this preventable? How would we get in? And I can understand the hopelessness of like it's hard to stop. Like clearly from what we said earlier in the episode, it's hard to look at fighting police brutality and like the system and the individuals because the nigga who was on that fucking Jubilee, he's got family members and those niggas are cops and they feel like he does. So like it's overwhelming to think about how to put a stop to that. If a nigga dies from like, oh man, shit, I used to play basketball with Johnny, man, he was jumping out the gym. But Johnny lives in a certain area that's like, damn near a food desert. He doesn't have access to the most healthiest stuff. So his health issues was fucking outside of, he couldn't fight those. So this motherfucker had a heart attack and was built like John Henry or something. Also the John Henryism, but I'm not here to kick y'all back in right now, moving forward. Um, but John Henryism is a thing, and there's a lot of people contributing to it. Anyways, uh, and so like it was something about, oh, hey, that was like a freak accident. And I just felt like, I don't know, something weird, like I guess the only way to describe it is like you could just grieve naturally. Like, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Like, he just died, as opposed to he died by proxy of like this big, huge fucking thing that you have to think afterwards. Cause it's like, black man, it's like, damn, how do I like get ahead of that? Um, yeah, that was I didn't think like his death was gonna jumpstart a thought like that in my head, but that's been actually rummaging through my fucking brain for a fair amount of double-digit hours now.
No, but I think it's fair for you to call it relief without it being disrespectful. Because I don't see it as disrespectful because that's pretty much what I had. Like initially, I didn't know it was him that passed. I just saw a bunch of people putting up like Malcolm and Eddie show posts
Hmm.
saying RIP, and I thought it was Eddie Griffin. And for for a split second, because obviously I'm going to be corrected in a matter of not even a full minute. But I was like, damn, Eddie Griffin passed away. Hold on, wait a minute. And I'm thinking like Eddie didn't had a rough. He didn't did some shit, and he's not super young. So if Eddie passed away, it's like, it finally caught up to you, and nigga, that's a little bit different. But for Malcolm, it's like, oh, whoa, Malcolm passed. That's when that thought, similar to what you're sharing, kind of popped in. Because I also saw a post maybe the day before of like somebody saying something along the lines of Trump, but like him using makeup to cover up bruises and his ankle swelling and things of that nature. And it's like the signs of him being unhealthy and diabetic. Like we're all kind of just waiting for the inevitable. And that's what the post was kind of sharing. But it's like that type of person will outlive a Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Hmm.
And that's kind of in the alignment of I had the thought of like, damn, I hope we don't have somebody like a David Banner or Killer Mike next, right? Because we need those people because we don't have too many leading the charge in those areas for our community. So that set in my mind as well as far as a sigh of relief that it was a freak accident and not a health thing along those lines. It was like, cool. For whatever reason, the universe saw fit to bring him home, so to speak. That's outside of our control, but we still have other people that can lead the charge in different ways. And hopefully we can keep them healthy because we need them because we're not outnumbered in the grand scheme of the world. But in this country, based on the political climate, we're becoming more and more outnumbered in thought. And that's part of the issue, which is also, to me, in alignment with the whole 20 versus 1 and the whole whiteness as a disorder, because whiteness ain't just white people, it's people of color that posture themselves towards whiteness because of that mentality. But the mentality that we share as far as being culture, being for the people, enlightening people on the facts and things of that nature, and doing it in ways that don't seem abrasive or they're trying to advocate for this, that, and the other, and trying to advocate for community and connect. Like that mentality is becoming more and more outnumbered by the fuck shit. And that's the shit that worries me, especially when it comes to our mortality as Black men. So I think calling it what it is as a sigh of relief is justified and it's not, I wouldn't take it as a disrespect because you're like, whoo, fuck, I'm glad it wasn't this. It sucks that it happened at all,
Hmm.
but I'm glad it wasn't this because at least it can keep some sort of hope. Because I think that's what a lot of us are holding on to. We're holding on for some sort of potential hope that things can and will change and expeditiously, as one of our four founding fathers of thought
Yeah,
shared with us.
shit. Fucking hope. Niggas waiting on goddamn Superman.
Well, apparently they don't like that nigga either.
Yo, I don't, it's we're getting to the end. I don't want to spend too much on this, but fuck y'all, man. Like come on, man. Like it was something I posted earlier, and I've seen a bunch of these pages pop up, so it wasn't like this one creator, so I don't feel bad for forgetting the name. Um, but just in general, like it is such a, it goes back to that fucking everything leads back to the fucking Jubilee post. Um, it is such a weird, you know what? Not that everything you said has it like led to the disorder, but honestly, the mental space to be in geek world and take these characters and like them and enjoy their stories and create this fucking thing where they fuck with your ideology is honestly a level of brain power that should be studied. Superman is created by Jewish men, is an immigrant from outer space, and throughout, if you're anything remotely millennial, yeah, if you're anything remotely, even before being a millennial, like that truth, justice, American way shit, you maybe could have like plugged it in there. Everything from the time I picked up my first comic, I was 11 years old. Everything from then on, Soups has been helping the world, a fucking beacon of hope, stopping people from committing fucking, don't die. uh stop people from committing fucks from jumping off bill. Like he just been the coolest guy on earth. And motherfuckers went and watched this shit and like it's too fucking woke. Cause he stopped a war. Come on, G. I want you motherfuckers to find anything else to do.
How
Like,
dare he stop a war? We would prefer to have the war so the righteous could prevail.
ugh. And now shit, shit, bro. Like, motherfucker, I'm like, I'm surprised you niggas didn't say worse shit about Mr. Terrific shit. Salute to him.
Well, you know, people tried to like, well, why do we need him? What's his point? He's not that important. I think post
Bullshit.
movie being released, ain't nobody said much with the exception of Duval like roasting his outfit. But I also understand that Duval ain't he's not a comic nigga, so I don't expect him to
Hmm.
really understand. His thing is Legos, so we'll let him stick to his Legos. Shout out to Duval. But they gonna find something to complain about. Well, they already were in a complaining mood because they had the whole Ironheart complaining. They was warmed up for that, and then they just shifted over to Superman. So I kind of saw it coming anyway.
It was a meme I saw, and it was like, if y'all didn't like Ironheart, y'all are mad at Superman. Boy, wait till them fucking X-Men pop out. Boy, your heads are gonna fucking explode.
I think the only reason they didn't lose their shit was because the '92 was the cartoon. But when that shit happens in real life again, and they actually do it, I won't say do it right because they didn't do it terribly the first time. But when they do it right now in the Marvel universe, they gonna have a tough ass time.
Fuck it, man. Do it big. Introduce Wolverine's gay son. Piss them off top. He's just like his dad. He's got the claws. He's got one. Like, do Laura Kinney. Y'all could bring if y'all bring Wolverine back, but introduce all his kids. Yeah, I'm in. He's got he's got a his daughter. I want to say she was she fucking on sync? So y'all get mad real fast. You got an interracial relationship. Got a bisexual son. Yeah, fucking do it to him. Fuck it. Yep. What up? What's up? Oh yeah, burn this motherfucker. Yeah, fuck it. That's what y'all problem is on the left, nigga. Y'all be swinging, soft. Put them brass knuckles on whatever fucking flag you want. I don't give a shit. Put them on and start knocking heads. Fuck it.
Absolutely. First of fucking I don't know if you watched it, but the My Hero spinoff Vigilantes.
I'm slow walking it. But
But
yeah,
the fuck,
do
what's his
him.
name? Knuckle Duster or whatever.
Yeah, be him.
And
Just not
my
just
power is I come in with the brass knucks and I'm just here to
yeah.
pound shit into oblivion.
I
Fuck
just beat ass. Whoop a
it.
ass. So good shit, man. And they be doing it, man. Should I watch Daredevil? Y'all niggas all wear them Punisher shirts. That nigga don't fuck with y'all. Like, canonically, don't fuck with y'all. Like, y'all,
In real life, that nigga would shoot you.
yeah, it's crazy, man. That's such a you know what? I was kind of fuck it, man. Everything you said, I'm because like the more I think, I don't know why it's a comic fucking shit to just make because like y'all don't make fucking sense. You niggas like One Piece, which is crazy because this show it's 1,000 episodes of a nigga toppling the government for good. Like we all rest in peace, Bon Clay, man. Best homie, gay as hell. I don't know what y'all are identifying with any of the
Star
shit that y'all talking.
Wars, Star Trek, pretty much everything that geek people love. I don't see how geeks can't see it or they try to configure it. It has to be an illness. It has to be a disorder for you to look at geek because most geek shit is created for the unification of different types of people to get rid of an organization or a construction or a
Ooh.
system or something. That's what they're fighting against to
Ugh.
create some sort of utopia or unity or something. And you look at geek shit that always tries to push being morally forthright no matter who's involved, and you say, I don't like this shit. Why they gotta introduce it? It's been introduced. Nigga, the character been around for like a decade. What you mean new or introduced? This shit ain't new. If you go look at shit back when niggas was drawing the whole comic book by hand, this story existed in the shit that they was what are you talking about? But whatever. I don't. You ain't a true geek if you ain't for social justice. That's like fucking therapists or people in social work that have some sort of bias that they ain't addressed. Like you ain't no real. It ain't real until you address your shit. You gonna get out of here?
Yeah, that's such a weird take to me because it's like you can't even discuss the gripes you might have with a thing properly because out of nowhere it's like, oh, this they could have done this. Well, it's a woman. All right, man, wrap it up. Never mind. This shit is because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. We were gonna clearly discuss that they messed up the tone of this scene, but you came and said, I don't like it. What are you talking about? What don't you don't like? Oh, you just don't like that there's a woman, period. I can't wait for these motherfucking. I can't wait for them niggas to drop X-Men and it's all focused on Storm being a fucking goddess for fucking 2 hours. Fuck y'all.
Choose right.
Yo,
Choose Storm right.
it's that choose Storm right. I'm more excited for Blue Marvel than Icon only because Icon is a fucking conservative and they make that part of his fucking personality so they can tell the stories. I don't need it. I'm not gonna lie. If we could
I
rec
mean, we already got Blue Marvel. They just kind of made Blue Marvel funny-ish, like Shazam.
if we could retcon it, you know, we could just unconcern because I'm not gonna lie, like the comic book version of Icon is a little it's a little much to digest. He's a bit little too much on the conservative side, and I don't care for that. You know, I'm not gonna lie. We could, you know, you guys could, we could make that turning point, but mm, yeah, yeah, I'm good on that. Actually, now I think about it, I don't need a yeah. Clarence Thomas with superpowers is cool. I'm cool on that for fuck show. Other than that, guys, I'm tired. I appreciate y'all for listening. We're we're back in this bitch. You know, run it up, like, share, subscribe. Um, I don't know, repost, share, tell your mom, and then listen again. Per the use. If you've got things, we don't have to ask you. You could just tell us, like, hey, I would want to hear what you guys think about this. Because we
Things
do,
of substance. Things of substance. Things of substance.
yeah, things of substance. I mean, I'm cool with a little bullshit, but things of substance, you know, I'm trying to
Yeah, I
be.
mean things of substance, not like what do you think about the roles of a woman as far as what she's look,
Okay, I'll tell you. You shut the fuck up about it.
it's gonna be a short conversation. We ain't
Yeah.
gotta, ma'am, you see our platform, you know what I do for a living, and you see the shit that we post. Why did you think that my answer would be different if you asked me in the DMs? You know what I stand for. Go
In
away.
my mind, they want to argue, and if I'm bored enough, we can argue.
Yeah, I get that. If
Yeah.
you catch me in between clients on a slow day, yeah, I may
Oh
indulge.
no. Well, let me back up. You go catch me on the weekend. I'm never gonna talk to you. I think I'm gonna get off my.
Oh, we that's different because weekend is I'm complete. I don't give a fuck. The only
Yeah.
people I'm debating with are the people I'm with in that proximity, and
Yeah.
even that has gotten a lot smaller. I didn't over this last year post
Yeah,
breakups and all
niggas,
that.
yeah, yeah,
I've cut a lot of communities
niggas,
off.
niggas getting their fucking walking papers. Nigga.
Oh yeah, yeah. Necessary endings, necessary endings. But I am all for it.
All right, man.
See
Thank
y'all.
y'all. See y'all next time. Okay, bye.